At around 10, our forces tried to follow them, but they were nowhere to be seen. They disappeared immediately. So the forces had to relocate another force again from the previous village to the current village of where the incident happened, which is Komurofe Village. We left some in Fitinambaya. Now we have deployed half of them to Komurofe. Those villages are just in the same location. Our forces have already taken over that village. They are the one taking care of the local communities in that village of Komurofe. According to our investigation, those people are from the same force, because when we followed them, they belong to South Sudan People Defense Forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, tensions are flaring once again at the Uganda-South Sudan border as armed soldiers from South Sudan have crossed into Ugandan territory, burning homes and displacing civilians. This latest incursion marks a dangerous escalation in a series of recent clashes, raising urgent questions about regional stability and the safety of border communities. Let's break down what's happening and why this matters. In the early hours of Friday, August 8th, South Sudan People's Defense Forces, SSPDF, soldiers crossed 1 kilometer into Uganda's Yumbe District, attacking Komurofe Village. 7 homes were reduced to ashes, forcing terrified residents to flee. This comes just weeks after a similar assault in nearby Fitina Mbaya village, where SSPDF soldiers had illegally set up a military outpost on Ugandan soil. But this isn't just about property destruction. The situation turned deadly 3 weeks ago when SSPDF soldiers opened fire on Ugandan troops, killing 1 and injuring 2. The UPDF retaliated, killing 4 South Sudanese soldiers. Then, armed civilians, believed to be from South Sudan's Kuku tribe, abducted 4 Ugandans. 1 was later found dead. This volatile stretch of border has seen violence before. 5 years ago, South Sudanese soldiers looted Ugandan villages, claiming the land as theirs. Back then, diplomatic talks promised better control of troops and improved communication. Clearly, those promises have broken down. These incursions suggest either a breakdown in command within South Sudan's military or a deliberate provocation. Either way, without urgent, high-level dialogue, this could spiral into wider conflict. So where do we go from here? Uganda has every right to defend its borders, but another cycle of retaliation helps no one. The African Union and regional bodies must step in before more lives are lost. For now, villagers in Yumbe District remain trapped in a dangerous game of geopolitical tension, paying the price with their homes and safety. But what could be the motivating factor behind this escalation? Is Juba aware of this, or is it even Juba giving orders for these cross-border raids? Or are these just actions of dissatisfied SSPDF forces looking for survival? It is highly doubtful whether Juba is issuing commands for its troops to cross into Uganda to conduct these raids. Rather, the matter of fact is that Juba is not in control of its forces. Without proper records of their soldiers, coupled with poor pay and motivation, South Sudan People's Defense Forces are continuously roaming to find survival. This is no different from the numerous checkpoints mounted by the SSPDF along the Kayaye Road, where soldiers extort every traveler to make a living. This raises questions about poor leadership by the Salva Kiir regime, which is unable to keep track of its own troops. The failure of the government of Salva Kiir to establish proper arms control in South Sudan is questionable. In South Sudan's chaotic arms markets, an AK-47 costs less than $100. A 2023 report by the Small Arms Survey confirmed this. Guns are cheaper than bags of maize. Many end up in the hands of rogue soldiers and tribal militias who turn border disputes into bloodshed. That's right, for the price of a dinner out, killers get tools of war. And with South Sudan's government struggling to control its own troops, these weapons easily slip into Uganda. Remember last month's abduction of 4 Ugandans by a Kuku tribesman? Those attackers weren't carrying government-issued rifles. They were wielding black market guns. The next question that lingers in the minds of many following this fresh attack is whether Uganda's defense forces will sit and watch these atrocities against its people go unchecked. For now, as confirmed by their spokesperson, the UPDF forces have taken over the village as the rogue SSPDF soldiers, looking for survival under the guise of territorial dispute, flee back to South Sudan. But this does not mean the flame is out. Uganda is a regional power that has maintained territorial security for more than 4 decades and hosts refugees from South Sudan and Congo. But history will tell you that Uganda does not entertain nonsense and will put any state in the region in order. Late last year, the UPDF crossed into the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo to hunt down remnants of the Allied Democratic Forces who had been hiding there. In 2011, the Uganda People's Defense Forces traveled more than 1,000 miles to the Horn of Africa to instill discipline in Al-Shabaab insurgents, after they attacked a crowd of soccer fans, killing more than 30 people and injuring dozens. South Sudan must be reminded that Uganda is a peaceful country with massive military firepower, and they are willing to deploy it to bring sense to a rogue neighboring state like South Sudan. For now, we stand by the words of the military chiefs, who've called for calm and de-escalation as diplomatic steps will be taken. But South Sudan should not take Uganda for granted, as it will not be long before Uganda's long and medium-range missiles could catch up with the rogue SSPDF forces in central Equatoria. This is not a situation that anyone wishes for between these two sister states, but what else can be done if South Sudan keeps provoking the region's superpower? For now, all eyes are on Kampala and Juba. Will they de-escalate? Or will this border become another flashpoint in an unstable region? We'll keep you updated. This is Steely Post Africa. Thanks for watching. If you liked this report, don't forget to like and share the video. And if you're new here, subscribe as we continue to monitor the situation.